Gavin was talking to us earlier about a conversation you had with him right at the AC Championship. Just can you take us through kind of that story of switching to running back and kind of the fruits of how that's produced throughout the season?
So going into the AC Championship game, I wasn't playing as much as I wanted to at receiver, and then just throughout the game, just staying engaged and just having an opportunity. Mafa actually, Jay's unfortunate injury on one of those kick returns, then Mafa's cleat actually blowing out right before one of those kick returns. Have an opportunity to go back there. I knew I could at least catch it because I caught them in high school. So if you fair catch, you get the ball on the 25-yard line. And they made a little run and came back on us. And so Coach Swinney was like, you know what, just bring it out. And making that run, I think Coach Swinney just saw, just what I could do with the ball in my hands. He thought, maybe it'd be better for me to switch to running back and, just have the opportunity to just kind of get the ball in my hands quicker than you could on the outside. And I think he's just been a blessing, kind of in disguise, just all the things that went into me having to switch and then being able to switch and being able to make it successful. I mean, it's just been shout out to all my coaches and my teammates that have just been supportive along the way and have helped me in the best way possible in my success.
Forget if he's asked you this before, but why did you gravitate to receiver in the first place? I know Coach Swinney said you wanted to be like Julio Jones or whatever. Like, what was the reason you actually?
I don't know. That's just what I played in high school. When I was coming up in rec ball, I played quarterback, and at my high school, at Myrtle Beach High School, we always just threw the ball around, and the receivers were kind of the guys that were just idolized. I mean, we had great receivers that came through our program that might not have had the best, grades, I would say, and but they were always really good at receiver, and that's kind of just what I wanted to be. And coming through the Myrtle Beach High School program, Everett Golson, Drayton Arnold, Luke Doty, those guys just pitched the ball around the yard a lot. So just being a receiver was just kind of something that I looked forward to when I was being a young kid if I couldn't be a quarterback.
That's where the baby Julio thing come from?
Kelly Bryant out here on Jeremy Meadows. It was kind of coming to camp, and he just looked at me one day. He just like, oh, you look like you look kind of like Julio Jones. And I was like, I didn't see it at first. And then being on the circuit of camps and going around and meeting a lot of different people, I got it a lot. So it's just kind of stuck with me all throughout high school and even into college. So, but that's where it came from.
Kate was telling us about, I think it was after we talked to you, he talked to you on the sideline and about, imagine where was the park you played at when you were a kid, and imagine that. I guess where would that park have been actually?
Pepper Gettings Rec. That's where it all kind of started. In Myrtle Beach High School, or in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, right beside the high school. So, it just kind of took me back to a place of just wanting to enjoy it as a kid. I mean, I had dropped a touchdown. We had messed up a pitch. So, just had to settle back down and, just continue to keep playing the game. It was, we had only played a quarter and a half of the game. We had most of the game to go. So, just got to lock back in, get back focused, and, that Kay was just trying to, I would say, encourage me just to go back out there and compete.
You're coming up on senior day. Obviously, you're considering transferring last year. The fact that you're now here and you're going to have that senior day and get to go down the hill, what does that mean to you, just given?
It means a lot. I didn't want to, leave, and, but everybody wants to play. I'm just glad that I'm still here and, having the opportunity to run down the hill one last time and, do something that you never really dreamed of being a senior at Clemson and having a lot of ups and down moments. It's just really been a blessing. So I just want to take it all in this Saturday and just make the most of it. And just kind of go out on top. Just win out and be the best version of ourselves that we can this year.
You've been here since Kate's there as well. Just what has he meant to this Clemson community on and off the field?
I said it in an interview the other day when I was interviewing for ESPN. Cade is one of the best leaders that I've been around for a long time. And, just being able to see him grow up throughout his college experiences and, just the ups and downs, people, not wanting him here, then loving him. He's just been unwavering with his consistency, I would say. Just bringing energy every single day and not want to be one of those guys that listen to the outside noise, even if it's good or bad. And I think that Clemson has been blessed to have him, and just going to continue to just do whatever he can and to fight to the end. And I mean, I really just couldn't have asked to compete with another person like that, because when somebody is giving it all, it just really it really just shows how much they care and how much they care about you and like your teammates and the program. So it just makes me want to go out there and fight my ass off as well.
Do you ever think about how your story can motivate young people about perseverance from the time you were a freshman at Clemson, you get injured, and then everything you've gone through to this point?
Sometimes I just sit back and kind of think about it, but it's just, at the end of the day, it's just my life, and I'm just kind of just continuing to keep living it. The good thing about it is I have more wisdom now than if it would have just went smoothly and I would have been able to get out of here in 3 years, and, if it would have all went perfect, I wouldn't have had, the toughness or any, kind of grit that a lot of people say. But now, just having the opportunity to go through so many ups and downs, so many trials and adversity, it has made me build back stronger, and I think it's going to set me up well for life.
You and Cade do a lot of the kind of motion, like pitch play. What do you like about that specifically? It seems like you've gotten a lot of good runs on that.
Oh, yeah. I think it just kind of gets me on the edge quicker, other than, just handing me the ball off. Friday night we messed one up. I think I was the first one that we messed up ever, not even in practice. I think that it just gets me on the edge a lot faster, and it gets me away from the defenders inside and makes linebackers and DBs have to come up and tackle me, which is, a little bit more difficult than, being within the tackle box. But, it's just something that Coach Riley has kind of implemented since I've been here, or since I moved, not been here, but since I moved. And I appreciate him doing that a little bit more, because it helps me get on the edge and, get downhill with my speed.
You were getting and sharing the running back load a bit these past couple of games. I've kind of seen him growing from the offseason to where he is now.
He's definitely grown a lot, just in his knowledge-wise, I would say, of the offense. And I think that he's just going to continue to blossom. I'm just glad that, the Clemson community and the fans get an opportunity to go out there and see what he's going to be able to do for the future. Him and Easy are going to have an opportunity to just light it up next year, especially and when Jay and Jarvis get back. I mean, those guys are grinders. So, I love that they get an opportunity just to see what's to come for the future.
Going off that, have you felt like you've been able to have a little bit more juice when you get into the game, not having to play, all 70 snaps or whatever it is?
A little bit, maybe, I would say. But, I prepare myself to play every play. But, when Ged's out there, I'm definitely tuned in, locked in mentally for him, because I know that he's going to need me when we come over there and look on those iPads. I mean, yes, it does help, not having to play every play and having somebody that, you could trust when they go out there that they're going to get the job done. So I'm thankful for that. But like I said, I do prepare myself to play every play. But, I am thankful that I have somebody that's behind me that, I could trust, and, it's not going to be a blunder or anything. It's just going to pick right up where I left off.
Just going back to the conversation with Coach Sweeney, I guess, what actually gave you faith that it was actually going to work out? Why were you convinced to stay rather than go elsewhere?
I got to sneeze. What gave me faith? Honestly, what kind of gave me faith was I just love Clemson, and like I said earlier, I didn't want to leave, and I was willing to do anything that I could to help impact this program in the best way possible. And if Coach Sweeney thought that was for me to move to running back, I was going to give it a try before I just dipped up out of here. And you know, going into the playoffs that week that we were preparing, I felt comfortable, a little bit more comfortable than I thought I would have. And also, you know, going into the game and having that long run and having a couple of other runs where I felt like I just feel like I could make an impact next year, it definitely gave me confidence going into the spring.
I think it would have been harder. I mean, now there's the one transfer portal window in January, and you have to make a decision. Do you think it's harder on athletes in that situation potentially?
Yeah, it's so much craziness going on in college football now that it's just going to be difficult for athletes to manage and judge like what they have to do. But I also say that it needs to be changed because, you know, an athlete that's playing in the CFP shouldn't have to be thinking about where he's going to transfer to after the season and their season's not over. You know, issues that people run into is they're playing in the CFP and seasons are already over, so they're worried about places that they want to go, spots being taken up because they're still playing. And I think that should not be the case. I think that everybody should get a fair chance to get somewhere that they want to go. Everybody should go somewhere and also have a degree. And, you know, that was one of the biggest things that I did have my degree last year, so I was I had that in my pocket so that I knew that if I did want to leave and even go anywhere else, that I would already have my education from the university that I wanted it from. So, yeah, I think that in college football that it needs to make a little change, but I do like the one portal switch because, you know, rosters can't just continuously turn over, you know, throughout the year. But, everybody should have a fair shot to get somewhere that they want to be.
Anyone else for Adam? All right, Adam. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adam.